Right, welcome back to the channel. This is Ian's Talbot Express, Talbot Fiat Express, I don't know. Originally it came to me. I'll show a before picture on the screen now. There we go. So this wasn't too bad to do. Curved 290s, flat plate with a bend on, another flat plate. It already been that's been welded from underneath that section. So done this, reasonably happy with this. This black stuff is aqua steel. It's a rust treatment, but also acts as a primer. So yeah, that's gone alright. But before he brought it down to me, he jacked it up, and this happened. Show picture. There we go. So he popped down today, and yeah. And that part's fiberglass there, so that's where the metal starts. So basically between sort of there and there, we have, well, this is the dashboard. So when he jacked it up, it had a crack developed in the filler. That's because A, there was nothing tying the inner wing to the chassis or anything. So that's sorted now. But also because this had no structure in it whatsoever. So I'm quite happy he was here to... Because if I'd sent him a picture of this, he did say he thought it was going to be about this bad. I did not think it was going to be about this bad. I thought it would be like, alright. So, first thing I'm going to do, because there's literally nothing, I'm going to find a brace to go up to here, off the floor. Cut it so it's quite tight. And then, once that's supported, I'm going to fold in 90 and curve it to put in this section. So I've got something holding the top to the bottom. Then cut the flat plate to that shape, bend it to go in there. Then another 90 curved round. And then we have got this repair panel, which is for a Mark 1, so it's not supposed to have this ridge here. So whether we use this or not, I don't know. He seemed pretty philosophical about it. And also, like, they filled right up to here, which is solid metal. But they put the skim on and then didn't sand it off. So he thought it was gone up here as well, but that's fine. It's just this middle bit. It's really bad. It's really bad. Alright, see what we can do. Alright, so we've created a brace out of 16mm threaded bar with some joiners, a little bracket to stop it sliding away. And by tightening that, I've been able to, because this had kinked outwards where the weight had come down on it, that's able to be straightened now. Not there's any structure there. So I'm going to cut a piece of steel, fold it into a 90, shrink it to match this curve, bring it probably up to here, cut this so it goes behind, same, cut it to there so it goes behind, and then hopefully I'll give us some structure. I'll put another plate on the inside now. I'm really glad he came and dug this out with me, because to explain is like, it's really bad. So bad. Right, let's cut some stuff. So that's how, with the shrinker stretch I've got, it's 22mm, I think, seems to be sort of optimum. So I haven't got my proper folder. Finn's bike. I haven't got my proper folder in here yet. Still in the back of somebody's house. This is a little cheap one that my dad bought. It actually does alright for this. So I'm going to fold a 90, use that to give me the curve, and then that'll be our first section. Been putting this off, but yeah, so that's good. Oh, God. I've made up a few pieces, so this will go in behind there once all this rot is out, and that's my curves section, which will recreate that curve there. And once we've got that in, we've got some sort of structure. And cut down a bit further on that cut. Easy if you say it fast. Starting to sort of get somewhere. So I've cut that piece, which curves and it's got bends on it to give it a bit of strength. This piece that needs to come out. Go up in there and then do that basically, but it needs to come that way, but I know the curves bob on at the moment. That'll give us two, when they weld it together, that'll give us two skins and also something to build on. If I cut this across flat, I can sort of bridge, use this, follow this curve to bridge these 2 points, and then just carry on working outwards then, I think. This is definitely, if you do that, and that's not applying a lot of pressure either. Yeah. Right, we're back after a bit of a, it's been like an hour just slightly trimming bits and moving things, but I think we're getting there now. Everything is rust treated. I'm going to put this piece in, then that piece is going to go in, and then we'll start building this flat section down to this corner. Do I weld those? I might weld those. Don't know, we'll come back. Right, first section's it's welded in top and bottom. So I'm going to plug these, plug that one, and then hopefully the 2 layers should give us a bit of rigidity. Then we'll bring this flat piece down, make this corner, and then bend a 90 to bring down into here. This is the plan. Plans change. Okay. Righty. It might not look too pretty, but it's the making of structure. Actually not bad. I've managed to tie it. There's a little, the bend, I've managed to tie it into the plate on the top of this hinge section. Yeah, so I'm going to cut this down through here, bend it, make that fit, plug weld it to this flange, convenient flange upper on, and then, like I say, bend a 90 to come down through this section. How we're going to work out what shape that's supposed to be is another question. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Right, excuse some of these welds. Welding into this rusty double skin stuff is a nightmare to get a nice, the plugs have gone alright, that's on nice clean metal. Again, that's a bit scrappy. But even just with that bit, I can actually, sorry, I'm moving on. Anyway, I can rock the van on that bit. Ooh, that was quite warm. So we've got the strength back in it now, and it's nowhere near finished yet. What I'm thinking is I'll try and put like some sort of bracing down here to a strong section down there, but we'll see. And grind this off, then cut that edge to line those two corners up, and then we can go with the next section. Right, now we're getting somewhere. So as we said, we put that angled 90 inside and welded it. It's not I'm not going to show you the weld down there because it's not particularly pretty, because it was just like stick the nozzle in and wiggle it about. But that's nice and strong. I've trimmed this edge off, ground all these welds down, so we have strength. Still, if you push on the roof, this bar bends, but am I pushing the van down on the suspension? Probably am, aren't I? Yeah, okay. So yeah, fold another 90 and get shrinking, and then I'm going to tie this piece into this somehow. Probably just with an with something. Be beautiful, baby. And the only thing is, this flange gets wider down here, so I might have to do an infill piece. We'll see now. Right, so that's, I've tied that inner section into this bit, which, alright, it's only one piece of steel and it's only welded at the top, but it is a bent triangle, which is welded. It's a bit of a messy weld because this was quite rusty between the layers, but that's pretty good, and that's tied into the box section that I fitted, which is tied into the plate down there. So I've been panicking that when I pull down on this bar still moves. But of course that's the suspension, the van moving on the suspension, not the roof moving. So I think structurally we are good. So we got to do a 90. I might have to put flat plate coming down into this section, because the 90 is going to be a bit short, so we're going to have a bit to fill there. Curves not looking bad. And then we've just got this final outer bit to make. God, paintwork on this van is terrible. There's actual stone chip or something underneath the paint. Right. Think we've got this bit now. So I'm just gonna tack weld around this corner. Put some copper behind there and fill that gap, hammer that flange down, and then when I've got this angle right, I'll weld on the back of these. Hopefully when you see it, these are not very good magnets. I think I'll get a tack on and then use my hand. Right. Again, not great welding. Better grinder than I am welder. Plus there was all corrosion coming out of the two ends. We filled that gap, filled that ridge. I think I've got the angle right now. So I'm going to bend those out slightly and weld on the back. Just grind them smooth. And then when I've ground all this off, mark line and cut down. And then I've got something to build on from the outside then. Oh. Easy, easy, easy. Okay. Smart's pretty good there. Little skip. Need to grind that down a little bit more. Little skimmer filler. I'm quite totally matched it there. And it overlaps slightly here. But we can live with that. Compared to the state of the rest, I painted over masking tape there. And as my friend Mark Chamberlain said the other day, the rest of the van will rot around the bits you've repaired. And I think he's probably right. So what I'm going to do is mark up and cut that so it's a nice flowing line which joins those 2 points, and then cut up to there and try and make a 90 with a curve on it. The 90 will go down behind the windscreen, the edge of the windscreen seal, and don't know, I'm going to cut that. And then I've just got to fill, oh, good one. I've just got to fill this area, and then I think structurally, like, that's good. And now when you hit it, rust stops falling out as well. So yeah, we'll trim this off so we can make this edge, and then get a bit of rust treatment on stuff. But that should be able to take the door seal now, because this edge had completely crumbled away. I know it's not going to be perfect going into where the windscreen is, but in the winter we talked about taking the windscreen out and doing the rust all the way around, in which case I can deal with this flange then when the windscreen is out. He just wants it structurally alright, so it'll pass an MOT so we can use it this summer, and then we'll have another go later in the year. Hopefully he's happy with all this work I've done. Like, compared with what we started with this morning, that is doesn't look great from this angle, but that wasn't there, so I'm going with it is great. Right, so I've made this piece, which should, let's try this. Right, so I haven't quite got the angle on the top right, but it's not bad. You just got to curve that edge around there. Also, I haven't quite got the, I need to take a little bit more off this edge. It's got to duck down to be level. Oh, I can do that. Can I do that? Just nicked his windscreen seal there. Never mind. So yeah, hammer, get some weld. I need to take this back because it's too far. I need to take this back and then put that into place. Probably drill one hole in that, plug weld that on, come down this seam, and then once I've got the top welded in, push that bottom edge in and weld that. Easy. Right. Scarf and the boys are unloading next door. So I think we got this. What I'm going to do is put a couple of dots of weld by here. Sorry, here. And then when I get to that point, push this corner in, tack that, run a seam down there, plug weld, a little bit of a seam across, and we're moving down into the zone. It's gone alright. Okay. Have a go at grinding that back now. It's very slightly down. There's a little ridge there. I've been able to recreate that, cover everything. Actually pretty good. Yeah, so grind that off, sand that off, and I think that's going to be bar watching for fires for half hour. I think we're good. So I'm going to have a tidy up while I'm watching. Below, always, when you're welding, always have fire extinguisher and a compressed air line with a blower, with the compressor on, ready to go. You can put almost any vehicle weldy fire out, as long as you spot it quickly, with just some compressed air. But now if you've got to go and turn the compressor on, find your blowgun and put real, have it ready. Bit of Dr. Simon advice here, Dr. Phil. Right, ooh, just missed a bit at the bottom. Right, I'll redo that and then grind that off. Right, so we're back, morning after the night before. Put pictures on Instagram, got 4 likes, going viral. I'm gonna cut this back to a nice clean edge. Where am I? I'm going to cut a bit of it back to a nice clean edge. Then drill some holes. It's actually pretty... Drill some holes, put some plates behind. And then try and cut a piece. I'll use paper as a template. Cut a piece. And then put a plate there to bridge that as well. Same as I did up here. And then probably weld a flange around the inside of this once I've got the shape. And then try and get it to fit. It'll be fine. So yeah, 4 likes. Get on. Dad Gfix. Username on the screen. So they're all our bridgey pieces. Sorry, it's not focusing very well. Get some plugs in all these so we can lose all these fixings, or clicos, or whatever they're called. And then, looking at the other side, there is a slight ridge, sort of somewhere in that direction. So I can try and make it in one piece, but it may well end up being 2 pieces. We'll see now. Right, several hours later. This is the piece that I've made. I've primed inside there. Put a return flange on it, give it a bit of strength, which sits just underneath the seam. And then what I'm going to do is weld that bit on, these bits, and then I've got it pretty perfect now. I can bend that round, tack it as I'm bending it, and I think that should do us. Famous last words, I'm going to be slightly over on this, but I can grind that down. So this is just a bit of cable I pushed underneath the seal to give me a bit of clearance, but it was in the way. So yeah, pretty happy with that. I think we did a bit of grinding. I'm going to redrill the bottom well because that was a tack. John, my friend, who's a welder fabricator, but he doesn't do thin, just popped in and that's his, that's his standard test. So he came and tapped in and he went, yeah, sorry, Dad. Grind this off. It's a Saturday, but I had a couple of hours so the kids are busy, so I thought I'd get this done so it's not playing on my mind all weekend. You know what we're doing? Flipping having that. So there is slightly down, especially on that corner, but it's going to need filling anyway. So that sort of leaves us some space to fill. But this, I'm not going to weld this line. It's plug welded either side and braced, so it's not going anywhere. It's not going to crack, I don't think. Probably put a smear of Tiger Seal and then sand it back off again, if you know what I mean. But yeah, the roof is attached to, so we can get rid of our brace, custom made brace. Yeah, we'll take that. Oof. Was a bit worried about this one, to be honest. But yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, brace in the middle, 13, triangle bit to tie in the 14. So there's 14 pieces of metal have gone into that. Well, 14 different sections have gone into that. But yeah, I think we are happy. Alright. Right, that's probably going to be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it's been enjoyable. I'll try and do a bit more time-lapse footage of me actually working, but it does kind of delay things a bit. And this is a... Oh, I missed a bit there. This is a... He wants this done, so it's a paying job. So doing the occasional little 1-minute videos, not too much of a drama, but to set up the time... yeah, I just need to grind that bit off a little bit there. And then we're good. Excellent. Right, thanks for watching. Take care. Please subscribe, like, comment, whatever. Later, potato.